Hey, I'm Andrew Harnik. I'm a photojournalist with the Associated Press. I cover the White House, and we are at Donald Trump's first 100 days in office. It has been nonstop news since the campaign. I tell all my stories through photographs, and let me show you a few. It's amazing how the White House really, in a blink of an eye, switches between administrations. Just in a matter of hours, the president moves out, they move all of his stuff out, the entire staff switches over. So this was the next morning at 7 a.m. when we arrived at the White House. You could see empty desks in the West Wing, but I went outside and kind of shot through the window to give it kind of a glimpse of what was kind of going on, make it feel a little behind the scenes. Wherever the president goes, we go with him. In case something happens, we are available for the president to speak to the country. So the Women's March was actually quite a substantial march. And when his motorcade returned to the White House, the motorcade had to drive by large crowds that had gathered along the path where he drove to get back into the White House. President Trump, obviously very aware of optics, walked straight into the White House. He moved very quickly. As journalists, we are capturing what happens in front of us, and that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get exactly what a politician might want. His first major press conference in the East Room of the White House was pretty much the same as it was on the campaign. It was definitely just as chaotic and adversarial. In a normal press conference, you're looking for one or two moments where you see an emotional face. We had the whole range of emotions on Donald Trump's face. I particularly like one where he kind of threw his head back and was listening to a question that he was definitely not happy with. And he told the reporter afterwards that he didn't like the question. And the media really became part of the story. The president was meeting with truckers and CEOs on the South Lawn. And then he decided he was going to get one of the trucks. And he got in there and started pretending like he was driving, and he honked the horn, and he kind of let loose for a few minutes there and pretended to drive this thing. This was definitely a side that we were not accustomed to seeing. So I made this portrait following an extensive interview with our White House Associated Press correspondent, Julie Pace. The president with the lights off, looking out the window. The president is through the beginning, this tumultuous 100 days of his presidency, but he still has a long way to go. It was such a tumultuous campaign to get him into that room, and it's only really just the beginning.